Well, good afternoon. Thank you for joining me for lunch today. It is 12 o'clock, and as promised, we are going to be covering today. The topic is RPR Mobile. I am assuming that if you are in this webinar, you have already downloaded your RPR Mobile app onto your phone, and you have access to it. So what you need to do is to click on the app, and what you will see is that when it first comes up, it is customized by your brokerage. Then whatever you have chosen to be your default view is what you're going to be seeing. As you can see, this is mine, and I happen to be in Fairfield, New Jersey. I have a feeling this is backwards, and if it is, oh well, it's live. So just imagine it's not backwards. So you can see in Fairfield, New Jersey right now, which is my default, because I have it, my default is the location where I am at. The benefit of doing that is that if I happen to be in a different city, my default will take my geolocation and determine where I'm at and give me the active properties for sale, any new listings, recently sold, and if there are any distressed properties in that particular area where I am located based on my location. It's going to give me that information immediately. If you don't like that as your default, you can go to your settings and you can, let me go back. Do you see how I have this little house is green? Because that is my default. If I want to change my default, I hold it, and that gives me the different options that are available, okay? So when you hold the little house in whatever view you want, okay? So if you want the geolocation on the map, you hold that for 3 seconds. If you want to do a search, you can click on the search button. And you can actually put on there if you want to search by my listings, market activity, schools, because you're also able to look at school reports from here. If you want to do a keyword search, if you want to do a owner name or parcel number, that would be by address, or if you want to change your search results, you would be able to make any one of those searches. So let's say that we want to choose this as our preferred landing page. So I would hold on the little house for 3 seconds. It was white, and now it tells me that that is now my chosen default. So now anytime I'm going to actually close here, and I'm going to go back in, and you will see that now that is the page that I've chosen to be my default. So let's say that I want to see any information about a particular property. Okay, because I happen to be in Fairfield, New Jersey, you will see that there are different colors. Green, if I were to click on any of the green buttons, it tells me that that property was recently sold. Anything that is a blue button, that property, oh, it's giving me that's a land, a piece of land. The blue See, this is what happens when you do things live. Anything could happen. Okay. If you open up with your fingers, you're able to open up the screen and see more. Anything that is a red dot is a distressed property, and you can see that it says off market. The blue button, the blue one, I still want to go back to that blue one and it doesn't want to work for me. The blue one, I'm going to go in. The blue square is a property that is for sale, and it gives you all of the details of that particular property. So let's choose this property, which is for sale right now, and we will be able to see all the pictures. Notice on this side it says it has 4 pictures per. You can also do individual pictures. You can do the overview from the sky. You can also do as if you were standing in front of the property, and it shows you the front of the property. You can see also turn around and look at the area down the street, across the street. Okay, let's go back to the property pictures. So here I have the 4. There's a total of 6 pictures, as you can see on the screen. So there are 4 here. I can move the screen and I can see the remaining pictures of the property. So you can get all of the details that you would get from going on the multiple listing service, because this property is on the MLS. You will see that it has the listing price at $659.9, but the RVM, that is the Realtors valuation model, is right below that. It tells me the number of bedrooms, number of bathrooms, square footage. When I go up a little bit, I will see the listing details, the agent's information. From here, I can call the agent or I can send an email. It also gives me the description of the property, the map where the property is located. And in addition to that, it gives me, if I need to do a quick market analysis, or if I want to, let's say I'm working with a client and they say, well, what other properties are available? Can you give me a valuation? I can do a nearby for sale search, and it gives me all of the other properties that are available for sale in that particular neighborhood relative to that property that I have on. Nearby comps also gives me information about properties that have sold recently. Those are the green dots. Those are properties that are in the area that sold recently. And this is within half a mile radius. I can also create a comparable amount analysis, and I can check additional details about the property, whether it is in a flood zone, and I can see the homeowner facts and information, the property information, what has happened, the history of what has happened to this value of this property in the past few years, and if there has been any price changes to this property. Following that, we have the prior sales transactions, and we have the school information, exterior of the property. These are more detailed information about the property. Mortgage records come after that. And if I want to do a report on the property, notice there is a button that says reports. You can add notes, or from here you can call the listing agent. You can also see, you see the star, you can also make this as one of your favorites. You can mark that as a favorite property and you can save it. You can save it either as the property address or the customer's name that you're working with. I'm going to cancel this. Now I'm going to go into the reports section. When you see the reports, there are different types of reports that are available. The reports are a property report, a seller's report, a property flyer. You can do a mini property report or a market activity report, as well as a neighborhood report and a school report. You can also create a buyer tour and a comparative analysis. When you create a report from here, it will be available here as well as any other places where you have the RPR app downloaded, which includes your desktop. And from there, your report will stay in your reports available for you at any time for 30 days from the time you produce a report. From the report, you can email or you can download the report onto your device and you can email it to your clients. So let's go back to the area report. So I'm going to show you my preferred, and I'm going to go back to making this my preferred default because this just shows me very quickly what is available anywhere where I travel or where I'm working with a buyer. Let's say I'm working with a buyer, I'm showing properties in a particular area, and I pull up there, and based on my location, I can see what other properties are available for sale that I could possibly maybe drive by or show my client. If there are any distressed properties, this is good for going after or trying to capture listings if you want to target specific people who need help, who have a default in their mortgage and maybe possibly are interested in selling their home in the future. When you see the red dots, you click on that property and you can see that it's not on the market, but that the system will give you detailed information about the valuation, the estimated value of the property, as well as the public data. It gives you the pictures of the property. It gives you the public data that is found on the tax records. It gives you the information about the owner, whether it is in a flood zone, the school system, and it gives you the owner information and whatever information is available through the public records. I'm going to go back. So that is a good way of promoting yourself to the particular neighborhood. And you can also see what are the properties that have recently sold so that you, even if you're working with a buyer in that particular area, you can quickly show them what is that area bringing in as far as market value for the different properties that are in the area. You are able, however, to make a search based on a different address. So if you click on the address bar, you can actually change that and make a search by property. So let's say you want to go to a different town and you want to do a search for, let's say in Wayne. We want to do a search in Wayne. So you click on the You can either do it by zip code, by address, or by city right here. So the zip code in Wayne is 07470. Okay, so I'm doing, see, when I put the zip code on there, it gives me the Wayne. And when I do a search for that, it brings up the map of Wayne with all of the properties that are active, sold, under contract, and also the properties that are distressed. So this gives you a really good overview. When you go in and you go in very, very, very close, you will notice that you will be able to see the street addresses and the detailed information about that particular area and any properties that are in that particular area. When you zoom in, you see more details of that particular area. When you zoom out, you see everything in that particular area. I'm going to go back to sort on the bottom. You also sort on your properties basically by either recently updated onto the MLS or the RPR site. You can look at days on market, which would be days on RPR, proximity, address, most expensive, or you can sort them by least expensive, by number of bedrooms, number of bathrooms, living area, lot size, year built, or if there's an open house that has been scheduled for that particular neighborhood. So you can see by, there's a lot of information you can get on your RPR mobile. You can also filter your results by number of bedrooms, number of bathrooms, dates sold, or even price range. For living area, lot size, year built, or keywords. So you can sort your search and your results by any of these criteria. It's a matter of playing with it and going in and trying the different features that it has. Notice here it says show only open houses. I have that turned off, but if I turn it on, I would be able to see the properties that I'm going to apply the filters, and it's going to give me all the properties. There's nothing today because today is not a day for open houses. But if this was on a weekend, I would be able to see, because I marked show open houses, I would be able to see all the properties in that particular area that have open houses available. I'm going to go back to the filters. I'm going to take off my open houses. You can also check here where it says include all property types. You can make that a different default and just remove it. You can choose if you want single family, condominiums, multifamily, farm or ranch, mobile homes, co-ops, lots, or other. I'm going to look at only residential properties. And I'm going to look at 3 bedrooms or more, and I'm going to apply my filter. When I do that, that gives me everything that is available. Again, we're looking at Wayne, New Jersey. It gives me everything that is available. But notice that the red dots are not there anymore. That's because I'm looking for actives, and those foreclosed properties or distressed properties are not available at this time. Go back to the filters. I'm going to change my filters and leave it the way it was, which is any. So you can go in and you can make changes. Right here, I want to show you on the top, I'm in the residential feature. By just moving this little button on the top, I now move to the commercial site. And when I go to commercial, I am able, it goes back to, remember, I defaulted to where my location is. So there are no commercial properties available for sale right now. But there are 3 for lease, and there are 13 properties that recently sold leased, and there's 1 distressed property. Just from changing on the top, I can change going from commercial to residential. If anybody has any questions about any of the information that I have provided so far, please send me a text, send me an email to Diana Bustamante at realtyexecutives.com, and I would be happy to help you navigate through it if you have any questions. But it's just a matter of basically playing with some of the features that we have available, and getting, just practice, practice, practice. Remember, you do have to download the app, the mobile app, onto your phone, and it is available for Android as well as Apple phones. So once you download it, you do need to put in your information, your details, and make sure that you open it and start playing with it. So thank you so much for being with me today for lunch, and I hope to see you again at the next one. Have a great day.